Good evening, everyone. Thank you to members of the media, and good evening, Bermuda. A short while ago, I met with His Excellency the Governor, and he has accepted my request to dissolve Parliament for a general election. Election day will be Tuesday, July 18th. Before explaining the reasons for this timetable, I wish to briefly talk about where we are as a country. Bermuda has made great strides since the election of December 2012. We have worked extremely hard to turn around a dire situation that was hurting Bermudian families in unprecedented numbers. We brought Bermuda back. We brought Bermuda back from the brink of economic collapse, and we cleared a path of recovery and renewal that is bringing more relief to more households every single day. We've made real progress in restoring jobs, opportunity, and hope. But we still have a ways to go. We have been joined in our work over these years by Bermudians for all walks of life who have stepped forward together for the sake of our island home. It has been a remarkable national effort on many fronts and stands as a testament to the power of working together, Bermudian know-how, and love for our country. As Premier and all my colleagues, we have been proud of what we've seen. Bermudians working side by side, performing with skill, confidence, and pride, working with the outside world, punching above our weight, building the island back up again. It has been profoundly moving to see what can be achieved when we work together. Unfortunately, the politics of destabilization threaten this national progress, just as Bermuda is taking center stage before the world, just as we are taking flight. It is deeply disappointing, and it is why we are here this evening. This election then will be about affirming Bermuda's commitment to continuing the recovery and the national effort needed to keep it going. All of us as Bermudians will have the opportunity to decide whether we keep moving forward on a path that's restoring jobs, opportunity, and growth, or we risk stepping off that path for something vague and untested. Bermudians, we will all have the opportunity to decide who has the experience and the record to protect the livelihoods and the future of our loved ones. I'm joined this evening by my colleagues in the One Bermuda Alliance, a team that has proven it has the vision, it has the skills, and it certainly has the experience to keep this island moving forward. We stand for one Bermuda, not two. We stand for inclusion, and we deeply oppose the politics of division. We believe that by ensuring opportunity and fairness in all things, we can get to the better place where the possibilities for Bermudians are limitless. Our work is not finished. We were elected to replace a faltering government, and we spent our time fixing the economy, an economy that was hurting our people by the score, narrowing their futures. It was a mammoth task to stop that negative momentum which we inherited, slowing that massive deficit that powered the debt, and rebuilding confidence in Bermuda amongst investors and businesses that had turned away from our island home. Now look around you. Now look around you today. We can see that Bermuda is changing for the better. New hotel construction, the airport redevelopment, the America's Cup, the tourism renaissance, and a renewed confidence in our island, all providing Bermudians new opportunities and new possibilities. For those who have not yet been touched by the recovery, do not despair. The ship has been turned. It's moving in the right direction, and we're going to get everyone safely on board. That's our promise, and that is our commitment to you. My fellow Bermudians, in the coming weeks, the opposition will try to convince you that the choice is between us and them. But the real choice in this election is much simpler and much more important. Will Bermuda move forward or back? Forward in our safe hands in the management of the economy, or back to the reckless conduct of the past? Forward with our work to make Bermuda more open, transparent, and accountable, or back to the governance that put personal interests before the public interest? Forward with concrete progress, or back to the empty promises and rhetoric? There remains much for us to do, but I want to assure the people of Bermuda tonight that we will continue to do our best to improve your life and the life of the country. We will continue our progress to reduce the cost of health care that causes so much anxiety for those in need. We will continue our progress on job training and linking those looking for work with work. We will continue making Bermuda more inclusive through change that protects against discrimination and ensures fairness in the workplace. We will continue rebuilding the island's infrastructure, enabling Bermudians to go about their work in an island that works. We will continue working for safe neighborhoods. Overall crime is down, lowest numbers in 15 years, but we all know there can be no real progress until we curb the shootings and the vulnerable learn and decide that there is much more to life than gang life. We will continue strengthening public education through greater parental involvement, expansion of STEM education, rebuilding our school facilities, and the introduction of technical education in the middle schools. And Bermudians, we will continue our progress towards full economic recovery in the renewal from the east to the west, because social progress depends largely upon economic progress. The stronger we perform, the more we can do for those in need. New programs helping the youngest get the start that they need in life, helping young mothers balance the demands of work and home, and helping our seniors live their lives in dignity with good housing, company, and care. The pressures of daily life are too great for still too many in our community, and it is our mission to make sure that the benefit of recovery is there to ease those pressures. My fellow Bermudians, in setting the election date, it is our commitment, if you see fit, to elect us again with a mandate to return to the House of Assembly as soon as practicable, to carry out important items already on our agenda: absentee balloting, fixed-term elections, the Boundaries Commission report, and roadside testing, to name a few. At the end of the day, elections are always about you, the people we serve. They're about who you actually believe can best protect and support your life and the lives of your loved ones. They're about who you feel has proven they can keep Bermuda's economy moving in that right direction, towards a new era of opportunity and shared prosperity for you, your family, your community, for everyone. So, my fellow Bermudians, let's use this election to make sure that Bermuda moves forward together and not back. Thank you very much. Members of the media, any questions?
Do you think you were forced to call this election at this point?
Gary, there'll be people who will have their opinions on it. I always had 5 periods that I thought what election was appropriate. This was one of them. I think the people need to decide. We don't need to have rancor in the House of Assembly about the direction that Bermuda's going. Everyone can see we're moving in the right direction, so now it's time for the people to decide and for the politicians to listen.
So are you denying then that the vote of no confidence that was supposed to occur tomorrow didn't hasten this process?
I gave you my answer and my comment stands.
What were the other 4 options that you were looking at?
Well, 2 had passed, and 2 is still in the future.
What were the
But
other?
this is the one that matters because I've called it, and we're excited.
Why did you, again, I'm asking again, do you think you were forced to do this and not use perhaps one of the later dates?
I already answered your question. My answer stands.
Premier, you've suggested or accused the opposition of playing the politics of destabilization. Surely Parliament was somewhat destabilized because of your failure to keep your parliamentary group together with other people. There's been discord in your ranks. also is quite unhappy with the way the leadership was conducting itself. Do you take any responsibility for what has happened?
Thank you for your question, which I'm not going to answer in totality because I disagree with it. We stand here as a team committed to move the country forward. And let me go back to 2012. We were dealt a rotten hand. We never argued. We never argued about the outcome of that election. We never argued about what was left to us. We went about and did work. And you know one thing about the One Bermuda Alliance is we're a diverse team. Look around. Look around at our diverse team. And with that diversity comes strong opinions. And as a leader, I respect those opinions. But what I have a hard time with is people picking up their cards and walking out. That's not how you solve problems. That's not how you move forward. That's not what people elect you for. So you might have mentioned some people standing in this room today. I have a great relationship with those people because I appreciate honesty, openness, and the desire to move forward together. That's what we're going to do. We're not going back.
What do you see as the main issue going into this general election?
Excuse me, the main issue?
What do you see as the main issue, or what do you see are the main issues going into this general election?
Our record versus their record. Aya?
Yeah, there are two people who started this term. Do you accept any responsibility for them not doing anything now?
That's water.
All their fault. Is that what you're
I never said that. That's
Well,
water.
you
That's
tell me what your responsibility is.
That's water under the bridge. That's water under the bridge. It's not going to help us as we move forward right now. Those two individuals have had conversations with me. We're moving forward. We're not reflecting on what happened. I can't change that. You know, I didn't have a healthy lunch today. I can't change that. I got to have a good dinner.
You indicated that this election
What
is
have you
going to be,
learned
your
from
record is going to be about the OBA's record against the PLP's record. Usually when a party is running in an election, there is a platform that they put out there, a manifesto. We have a very short period before the general election. What is the reason for that?
You asked about a manifesto. We'll have a manifesto in a couple of weeks. I think election periods need to be a reasonable time. I believe this election period is the same as in 2012, which I believe a reasonable time.
In the last election, there were issues of crime, single mothers being assisted and that kind of thing. So from that perspective, what do you see are the main issues going into this general election?
If you would reflect on my prepared speech already, I list some very important issues there.
The achievements of the One Bermuda.
No. I'm sorry to take difference with you, Gary, but you were making notes. But if you looked at it, I talked about education. I talked about we need to continue to deal with crime. I talked about the need to deal with the infrastructure. I talked about the need to help our seniors. Those are critical issues which everyone on this team is very capable of dealing
with.
with.
Do you think you have achieved what you set out to in your first term as government?
I think we've achieved a lot. There's some areas where we have fallen short. There are some issues that came up and we dealt with them as well. And as I alluded to in the closing of my comments, we will get back in the House of Assembly if given the mandate as soon as possible to continue on.
What do you see as some of the shortcomings or some of the goals that you set out that you haven't, sufficiently achieved, if you've achieved them at all?
I mentioned that absentee ballots and fixed-term elections and roadside testing, and that's why we're coming back. The Boundaries Commission wasn't done either, and you probably have to ask the opposition about that.
Do you think the failure to have the absentee ballots legislation in place could impact the outcome of this election as it pertains to the...
It's one reason why we called in July, when we believe that most students will be home, and that's the best period for it. Aya.
Do all those candidates know what the platform is going to be?
Aya, that's a good question.
Thank you.
The platform will be released, and we'll be talking to the platform.
Because they only have 3 weeks of term.
Well, in time you will see. It's a 5-week election period, Aya. It's not 3 weeks, yeah. Just to help you out. So members of the media, any other real questions you have?
I'm sorry.
No worries. Just quickly, so I guess can you tell us about the readiness of your team to get out there into full election mode now?
We've been canvassing for some time. We've been rolling out candidates. We've rolled out...
All the candidates been selected?
You will find out in time. We have another rollout tomorrow. I invite you. I didn't say that. I invite you there to the rollout. We're in good position. You see a pretty full team right here.
I see Mr. Charles Swan present here today. Is he going to be a candidate?
You will find out in time. You will find out in time.
So he had severed ties with the OBA. He felt that he should have continued and not joined forces with the OBA, has he now been welcomed back into the fold, so to speak?
Of course he has. He's here. You win some, you lose some. And we're going to win.
What's going to be the style of your campaign?
It's going to be talking about our record, talking about our vision going forward, and we will deal with any issues that come up from the opposition as we go forward. I always like,
It's going to be a clean campaign, a positive.
if you let me finish, I could have finished before you jumped in. We always like to run a clean campaign. One of the things I owe, and I'm sure all of you and members of the media are well aware of, is that people in Bermuda do not like the divisive politics. Political parties are detested for that approach. We will run a campaign of information that is factual, and we'll talk about a record and we'll move forward.
Will there be any underground paid blogging or any millionaires supporting the underground campaign?
I don't know those guys. I don't know those guys, so you can send me them. You might want to ask. You might want to ask the opposition that.
Okay,
You're saying that there will be a clean campaign, but we're already seeing negative ads being put up. There was an instance where 2 known supporters of the One Bermuda Alliance were seen putting up placards at roundabouts around the island.
It's got nothing to do with the party.
Did the party
do you
support that?
condemn
No. It's got nothing to do with the party.
Do you condemn it?
Look, I don't know what was put up, right? And you tell me about that. I don't know what was put up. But if people put up information and it's real and they want to support us, I can't
Premier,
condemn
I find
that.
that hard to believe. You're saying that no one within the One Bermuda Alliance was able to point out to you there were negative ads being posted at roundabouts.
I heard when you called me.
Are you prepared to tell the public now that you will not accept negative campaigns on your behalf to support your party?
We don't support that. I support factual campaign. But don't run from your record. Don't ever run from your record. Because, you know, the opposition have a number of members who have been in almost every political party in Bermuda. They can't run from their record. So thank you, members of the media. Have a great evening. Look forward to seeing you over the next 5 weeks. Oh, Mr. Burcham.
Will you confirm the date of the election?
July 18th. Yeah. Thank you.
Very much.
Thank you very much.